Hey, Corey Reese here, and before we jump into this lesson and get you going, taking great photos, I wanted to answer one of the famous questions that I get asked about equipment. What kind of camera and lenses are you using? That's the most famous question that I get asked all the time by people that's looking to jump into photography. But I want to help you out, okay? At the end of the day, right, the best camera, the best lenses, all of that alone will not make you a better photographer. Are you surprised? You should be, because most people think initially that you got to go out and buy all this expensive equipment and that's what makes you a pro. And I fell into that trap. I wasted a lot of good money on trying to buy the latest equipment without actually learning how to actually use it and make the most out of what I had. Once I teach you and help you understand the settings and the controlling of the camera, you'll be able to take any camera you want, a cell phone, point and shoot, whatever camera it is, you'll be able to take awesome photos every single time. And that's our goal, okay? All right, but I wanted to answer what kind of camera, what's my equipment. I want to kind of show you what's in my camera bag so you can kind of see what I use and how I actually use that particular item, okay? So my main camera here is a 5D Mark III. This is my main camera body. I also have a 5D Mark II, which is a backup at this point. I was shooting with the Mark II when it first came out. Once this camera actually came out, it had some different video features, upgrades that I wanted to take advantage of. So I went ahead and picked it up. But at the end of the day, don't fall into the trap of going out and buying every latest thing that come out. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Okay, so this is my main camera here. Okay, so my main lens, this is the lens that's on my camera. I would say probably about 95% of the time. This is a 70 to 200 2.8 lens. What I like about it is it gives me an opportunity to zoom in super close and get a close-up. I can also step back and get a full body shot with this very lens. This lens is not good for when I have to be close up to my subject. So depending on your actual subject matter, if you're shooting kids and things like that, you don't want to have a zoom lens because you're not going to be able to focus once you get super close. But you want to be able to kind of maybe touch or move some different things in your scene. Then this is not going to be the best option because you have to be a certain distance before the actual focus. The lens that's on that camera may be a better option. That's a 24 to 70, which it gives you an opportunity to shoot a very wide scene. And then also it zooms in to 70, meaning I can get an upper 3/4 or even maybe a close-up. I generally don't do close-up photos with that lens. I'll just go ahead and put that zoom lens back on. But one of the things that I like that I forgot to mention about the zoom lens is that also it blurs out the background very, very well, especially when you're zoomed in. Like the more you zoom in on a subject, the more it compresses the background, especially when they're further away from the background. Hey, so we're here on location. I know most people that's creative, they're more visual learners. I want you to kind of see exactly what I'm talking about real time, okay? So right now, what I want you to pay attention to is my distance from this actual flower, so you can kind of see the correlation, as well as I'm getting ready to start zooming in on this lens. I want you to look at the background, how it compresses the background, and it actually throwing the background out of focus. Okay, and I don't even have really a low aperture, which controls that, but when you're zooming in with a lens like this, it makes the blurriness very, very nice. Okay, so let's start zooming in. Okay, so right now I'm at 70. All right, so let's go into, this is at right here at 100. Okay, so you can kind of see that. All right, so now we're at 135. All right, and now let's go ahead and go all the way into 200. Okay, so now you can kind of see the difference with the depth of field and the actual how close I am to the subject now in relation to the background. I can't really even see or make out where I'm at right now. So that's an example of this particular lens. So now let's switch to the 24 to 70 to see how close can I get to the flower as well as the background compression. Okay, so now you see how close I am to the actual flower. And just think about if this wasn't a flower, if you're shooting your kid or any of your pets, things like that, or something that you need to be close range to, like from this distance, I can reach and I can actually touch the flower versus with that zoom lens, because how it's built, you're not gonna be able to get that close, and that's exactly what I meant. So I'm gonna switch to this camera now so you can kind of see what it's looking like. So right now, this is at the widest at 24 with this lens. This lens right here is a 24 to 70. So you can see how wide it is at this point. So I'm going to start zooming in exactly how I just did for the previous one, okay? So now we're at all the way at 24, okay? This is at 35 here, Okay, this is at about 50. All right, and this is at about 70. This is the furthest this lens can zoom in from here. Okay, so looking at the two, it kind of gives you a different angle of view, and you kind of see more of the background with this actual lens. So you can kind of see how the compression makes a difference with zooming in. I haven't changed any of the other settings. I just changed the lens. So you can kind of see the difference that makes. Okay, cool. So, all right, so let's move on. A couple other lenses that I use and that I have, this is the 51.8, okay? This is the 51.4. And to be honest with you, they're in my kit, but I don't use them as much, okay? But for portraits and things like that, if you wanted to create that very creamy, blurry background, the aperture goes down super low, which controls the depth of field, meaning how blurry the background is, and you'll learn that in a future lesson so that you can kind of get that person in focus and the background out of focus. So good lenses for that. All right, I have here extra battery, of course. I have my light meter, and the light meter I don't use as much because your camera, most digital cameras have a built-in light meter, so you don't necessarily need extra light meter unless you're shooting film. One of the older school film cameras, this comes in handy. With film, you don't get an opportunity to take 100 photos and pick the one that actually turned out right. You need to get that exposure right. I do have a film camera here, and this is one of the newer ones. And as you can see, looking at the two here, and I'm gonna pull them up. So you can see they kind of look similar, except for on the back, okay? This has a digital screen. This is where I actually load the actual film. But on the top, we have similar menus there, okay? I can use the same lenses for this particular camera if I wanted to shoot film. But of course, with film, I have to be very accurate because it costs for the film as well as it costs to get them developed. All right, this is a throwback camera that I use every once in a while. This is my Polaroid 250 land camera. This is an old school flash that's built on there. But the thing with this one is this is exactly what we're gonna get you out of. This camera only shoots auto. But what I have a remedy for that. I actually had one of these cameras customized just for me. And this is my other one right here. And as you can see, it looks a little different on the front because I can mainly control the actual shutter speed here on this camera. So I have more control. I have manual control on this camera. So the main thing as a photographer that you want to understand is that the best thing for you, if you want to shoot automatic mode, you might as well just use your cell phone and just different point and shoots that have no manual control. But if you invest in a digital camera like this, you want to use it to its full capacity, being able to change it out of auto mode and get into actual manual mode to really control the settings, okay? But understanding that with a device like a cell phone, see, my phone it comes with manual control. So I have the same control from my cell phone that I can get from this camera. But what I want you to understand is once we understand how to manipulate and change the settings, even if your cell phone has no manual modes, you'll still know how to position your subject, how to get the best light with your cell phone and take awesome photos, okay? And I'm going to show you a series of photos, and I want you to tell me what photo was taken with the cell phone and what photo was taken with the actual camera. I want to see if you can actually guess which is which. All right, so that will be an indication to you that it doesn't matter the gear. It's all about you and understanding how to control it, to manipulate it for your benefit, okay? All right, let's take a look. All right, cool, guys. So now we get to have some fun. So I want to see who is going to guess this right, all right? So the winner might get, you know, a prize, maybe get some Lightroom presets or something like that. All right, so listen, I need you to get a sheet of paper. All right, because the images are going to go fast now. They're going to go fast. I'm just letting you know that right now. I might play it twice, but you got to be paying attention. So it's about 7 or 8 images. You can either put a 1 for actual real camera, a 2 for a cell phone, or 3 for a film camera. Okay, so all right, so let's cue up the video. Well, I'll give y'all a couple seconds real quick to grab a sheet of paper. This is gonna be interesting. See who's gonna guess right. All right, Okay, cool. All right, let's crank it up. Let's crank it up. Let's start the music. All right, here we go. All right, that's it. How many people need to see it one more time? All right, cool. Okay, I'll play it one more time now. So you gotta look again, look closely, and try to decide which one is which. Number 1 is a real camera, 2 is a cell phone, and 3 is a film camera. Okay, so those are the 3 options that you have. All right, so let's play it one more time. Okay, so tally them up, tally them up. Let me know which is which. So what I'm gonna do first, I want people to post first before I tell you actually which was which. I want you to kind of post in a group or shoot me an email and let me know which image you thought was the film, which one you thought was the cell phone, and which one you thought was the actual real camera. All right. So that's what we're going to do first. All right. Well, actually, you know what? No, forget it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you because that was the point. Every last image that you saw. OK, let me play it one more time for you. All right. One more time. Guys, every single photo that you just looked at, I took with my cell phone. It's no film camera. It's no real camera. Every photo that you saw was taken with my cell phone. So I hope you understand that we are getting ready to create some magic with any camera we put our hands on. All right. So let's get ready to have some fun. All right. See you in the next video.